Our rules are simple, but the challenge is great. All dinos will be explored in this challenge, but only reasonable underdogs voted on by the community will be considered for grading. Equipped with official server cap saddles, our 19 contenders will be backed by the commanding presence of a loyal Uranus providing that extra boost. All competitors will go into battle with food to provide a healing effect. Herbivores will have plenty of sweet veggie cakes, and carnivores and omnivores will have cooked meat. It's important to note that tames in this series aren't typically used during boss battles because of the amount of mutations you need to make them competitive. But all dinos competing will have around 23,000 health and 1200% melee. This will give them all a fair shot at defeating at least one of the Guardians. It won't always be feasible to reach these stats depending on the dinos I'm using, but I'll let you know the amount of mutations and levels it took in order to reach it. All competitors start out with 50 base health and melee and 40 points in everything else before I apply mutations and experience levels. You can decide on your own servers if the juice is worth the squeeze. Competitors are required to fight the megapithecus, broodmother, then dragon on all difficulties, starting with gamma, then beta, finishing with alpha. Their success will be annotated on this scorecard with a pass or fail system. Clearing all the bosses earns them a gold boom medal. Silver is awarded for clearing beta, bronze is for clearing gamma, and the chunk of shit is for an unworthy performance. Once all expansion creatures are finished, the gold medal winners will test their strength against the overseer for the finale. Now let's introduce our competitor and see if they have what it takes. Megaraptor. This absolute beast comes pouncing onto the Ark in conjunction with the release of Alguero. By itself, this spooky boy is as vicious as they come, hunting, camo, pouncing, and claw finishing abilities. The pounce works on the bosses, but only if ridden. None of the other abilities appear to have any effect on the bosses. The debuff for the camo is applied, but that doesn't change anything during the boss fights. There's also a buff that is applied to the Megaraptor after damaged creatures die called Invigorate. I'll cover that one more a little later. Oh, and did I mention that these things can strafe, which is awesome. The stats required for this competition will reach with 31 mutations and 80 experience levels, 16 mutations and 40 levels went to health, and 15 mutations and 40 levels went to melee. Now let's see if they have what it takes. Green portal time means gamma time, and the other mega crap is ready to be very upset if he's with the other Megaraptors. Now, first things first, regardless of what you see going forward, this creature is badass. The name is just because I can't help it that I have to say crap whenever I think of raptor. But trust me, they're awesome. By themselves. They don't receive a mate boost, and they get a massive damage and armor buff when they're not near other Megaraptors. Using them in a group actually hinders them big time. I'm not a mathematologist, but I think the damage boost is something to the tune of 50 or 60%. Combine this with the Uranus, and brother, you got yourself a stew. Even with the handicap of fighting in a group, the Megaraptors make short work of the Gamma Megapithecus, earning a pass. The Gamma Broodmother is up next, and the Lone Wolf Raptors do a great job at blocking her movement, but the aggro seems to have changed. I'm not sure what governs the aggro in the game now with newer creatures, but it surely isn't the same as the original vanilla ones. It's nice to be able to block the Broodmother, and honestly, when you're only dropping a couple hundred damage a hit, you're kind of screwed later on if she's attacking your creatures. The Alpha Broodmother hits like a truck, and the Beta Broodmother can be tough as well, so at this point, I was prepared for a tough road ahead. There is something I really love about these guys, and I'll talk about that in the next fight where it's relevant. The Megaraptors get a pass against the Gamma Broodmother. The Gamma Dragon is up next, and the strategy here is to keep the Megaraptors away from me and the Dragon so that they don't take aggro, which is harder than it sounds. I want the Dragon to aggro Commander Yutz and I first so that we are the only ones that get burnt on the first engagement. If you're using carnivores that can fit under the arms of the Dragon like the Megaraptor, this can be a handy technique to use in order to beat the Dragon with creatures that wouldn't win in a head-on fight against them. It works like a charm, and luckily for us, Garuga modeled and animated this beautiful creature. That means it can actually attack when close to the Dragon, not like the clown-ass OG Ark creatures that sit there staring at his ankles if they're too short. Well done, Garuga. You hit another one out of the park. The Gamma Dragon goes down on the second landing, and the Megaraptors earn a pass, clearing the Gamma stage. Blue portal time means beta time, and the camoed carnivores are ready to sneak into the icy arena of the Beta Megapithecus and deliver some hurt. They do a fantastic job at surrounding and blocking the movement of the Megapithecus, but I do wish the knockback that they receive from the Gigantopithecus minions wasn't so high. I actually lost one in the Gamma fight because of it. Sometimes the Megapithecus aggroed me randomly, and it required some tricky maneuvering to get everyone back into the organized ass whooping, but it didn't take long thanks to their outstanding maneuvering abilities, which I gush over, clearly. The invigorating ability that the Megaraptor gets appears to not do anything. I can't really tell, but I got the number almost to 10,000 at one point, and the damage that I received didn't change at all. I'm not sure what the shield is supposed to do, but I don't think it's decreased damage received at all. The Beta Megapithecus puts up a decent fight, but like almost always, he is served a one-way ticket to Pound Town. That's another pass. The Beta Broodmother is up next, and I was a bit concerned going into this one. The damage output when you have more than one Megaraptor isn't the greatest, and you know what? Let's turn a negative into a positive here. We finally have a new creature that isn't going to come in and immediately require a nerf after nerf because of what it can do in a boss fight. I'll talk about the utility of this creature in the conclusion, but I'm pleasantly surprised with this bad Mamma Jamma. The beta broodmother can and will wipe the floor with you if you are not prepared. It was pretty close, and if it went on a little longer, then they for sure would have been crushed. Unfortunately for the beta broodmother, today was not her day, and the under megacrabs put her into the dirt. That's a pass. The beta dragon is next up, and this fight actually gave me some cause for concern. I have to be extra careful on approach after the dragon lands because you have to get Commander Utes into position while trying to get the Megaraptors in position at the same time. Aggro is up in the air, kind of, so if the dragon slips off you and blows the fire on the Megaraptors, then the fight might not go your way. After you're in position, you need to cross your fingers that the aggro stays pointing away from the raptors and is focused on you so they don't get damaged by the fire. I've successfully beat the dragon without taking a single sliver of damage on any of my fighters before, except for Commander Utes, of course. It's 100% possible to do this, but you need to be extra careful if you decide to use these guys for the bosses. The beta dragon hits the dirt, and the Megaraptors earn another pass, a full clear of the beta stage. Red portal time means alpha time, and the alpha megapithecus is up next. I've had a few moments during this where I was like, maybe the alpha stage is going to be impossible, but nothing ever cemented it quite like the alpha megapithecus fight this time. This guy is easy, but he came pretty close to shutting this shit down, believe it or not. I honestly believe if Garuga didn't put his personal touch on these guys, then they would have lost this fight. The damage output when they're in a group is just not that great, and I think regular Raptors actually dealt more damage than them. Again, this isn't a reflection of the overarching abilities of the Megaraptor, it's just not quite meant for boss fights or anything with a group, clearly. The Alpha Megapithecus takes down a few Megaraptors, but in the end, he goes down. That's another pass. Today is a great day. You see, both Mama Broods and Manny Slingsdong got arrested for public intoxication and lewd conduct behind a Baskin-Robbins a couple months ago. He got the longer sentence, but Mama Broods was let out early since she allegedly wasn't the one who wanted to do it. She claimed he forced her, but we all know how freaky she can be. She was let out today, in fact. She started writing me shortly after she got locked up and begged me to take her back and promised to do all sorts of dirty things with me if I came to see her. I would have picked her up and took her to her cave, but I was busy shopping for toys for our new adventures. I asked Commander Utes if he wanted to come, and he got super excited and pissed all over the place. We've been working on restoring his mind, but I honestly think it's just way too far gone at this point. Commander Utes and I rolled up into Mama Brood's lair, and I had a big old smile on my face. It's been so long since I was able to get a handful of that cake, and goddamn, I was craving it. She let out a shriek of excitement when she saw me, and she demolished all of my little Megaraptor friends. I assume it was because she wanted to be alone so we could play What's in My Butt. It's a longtime favorite game of ours. Everything seemed to be going fine. It was pretty passionate until she killed Commander Utes. I ran to our favorite spot with hope in my eye that she really didn't want him watching, but instead of jumping into my arms, she sicked her bastard-ass kids on me, and they devoured me in seconds. That's a fail. The Alpha Dragon is up next, and I was mildly confident on account of the excellent ability they're packing. If I ever die in a boss fight, I redo it a total of 3 times before I call it. There's a lot of RNG in Ark, and obviously there can be some user mistakes on my part too. What you're watching here is the final attempt. It wasn't easy fighting this guy. He's a lot faster than the previous ones, and once Commander Utes inevitably got burned to death, shit just went downhill. They don't do a lot of damage as it is, but once that fire starts hitting them, the clock starts ticking, and it ticks fast as hell. The Alpha Dragon takes down the Megaraptor. That's another fail. Heading over to the scoreboard, the Megaraptor earns a silver boom medal for clearing the beta stage. The Megaraptor is an awesome creature. I highly recommend it. I haven't tested the harvesting capabilities of it, but it might make a great creature to use for meat runs or farming hide. I can see it having some decent PvP utility as well, and it will be a fun travel mount if you're not using any flyers. Great job to Garuga and the rest of the team at Wildcard that worked on this creature. It may have got a silver medal in this challenge with my rules, but overall, I give this creature a solid A. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing to help this community grow. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.